We're taking the shortcut. Let's roll.
No, okay, just wait. Master Wu said we should stay on the right path.
What? You want to listen to the guy who fell off the bridge, or the guy who didn't fall off the bridge?
Hello everyone, and welcome to 2024. I wanted to do a little update video, just going over all the things I want to do for the rest of the year. I realized that I had a lot of stuff that I had to talk about, and that it was going to be too big for a community post. So I figured it might be best for me to just make this video and just go over everything I want to do. Let's just kick things off. The first things first, I'm making a lot more videos this year than I did last year. I think I made maybe 7 videos last year, maybe. This year, I have up to maybe 35, 37 planned videos. Just a lot more stuff coming out this year. A lot of stuff that I had planned for last year did get pushed into this year, and that's kind of what made that amount of videos get pushed up so much. I mentioned very early in last year when I made my first Velma video that I was going to do a video on Dent Versus, and so that's going to come out this year. I also have a video on the Owl House, very similar in the same vein as my Molly McGee video. I have a video talking about one specific scene in one specific episode of the Owl House, and that should be fun. And I also have another video talking about Rayman. I know a lot of you guys are here from the Captain Laserhawk video, so I have another video that's just mostly talking about Rayman in general. And that's a lot of some of the stuff I'm going to be doing this year. I don't want to give away too many surprises. There are some stuff that like I said before, there was some stuff that did get pushed back from last year. I did say that I want to do a multiverses video again when I talked about NASB 2 last year. I did start that script last year. The big issue is just that the game is relaunching in 2024, and I personally predict that a lot of character changes are going to be made to that game. The whole conceit of that script was mostly about critiquing the character design of multiverses, and so I thought it would be redundant to make a script based on how the game is now compared to what it will probably eventually evolve into. So I still want to make that video. I'm going to wait until the game comes out, and I'll probably talk about that again. It'll probably be something that'll come out towards the end of the year. I also have videos planned for both the first NASB and NASB 2. Like I said in the NASB 2 video I made last year, I was making a scripted video on NASB 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1. So I have that out, and I am also working on, I also do have plans to do a scripted video for NASB 2. They're going to be kind of together, back to back. I'm just, gathering more footage, just playing more of the game, just making sure I have my thoughts fully developed before I start on that one. And I also mentioned Velma a little bit early in this video. Last year I just did a first impressions of the first 2 episodes, and so this year I'm planning to do a big season 1 retrospective critique of the entire first season of Velma. So that's something that I'm excited to get back to. So all these videos that I'm mentioning now are they're kind of in another set of videos. There's 2 types of videos that I'm making. There's a whole bunch of random miscellaneous videos that aren't unified by anything. Some of them are a little bit unified, there's a lot more platform fighter stuff. I'm doing 2 videos on Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and I'm doing another video eventually on multiverses. But there's another set of videos, and they're going to be retrospective. So for the first time, I'm going to be doing some retrospective series. There's going to be 2 retrospectives that are going to be happening for this year. The first one is going to be for the Lego Movie. I'm going to be doing a 4 or 5 part video series on all the films in the Lego Movie, Warner Brothers franchise, Lego Movie 1, Lego Batman movie, Lego Ninjago movie, the Lego Movie 2, and then a sort of epilogue, random thoughts video at the end. I like these films a lot, and I just feel like it'd be really cool to give them a big analysis, because I feel like a lot of people tend to not think too much of them. At the very least, they tend to kind of disregard the other films outside of the first one. So I just wanted to give them a big analysis and dig deep into what makes all these movies special and stuff. Okay, and then here's the big one, the real big palooka. My next retrospective is going to be on Scott Pilgrim. So 2024 is the 20th anniversary of the comics, so I'm going to be doing a big discussion about basically everything in the franchise. I'm doing all of the books, I'm doing the game, the movie, the anime. It's going to be a whole thing and a half, and it's just going to be a whole bunch, like 9 videos basically dedicated to each aspect of the Scott Pilgrim franchise. Each of them are going to get big analysis and stuff. It's going to be really fun. I'm planning on having that start in April, and then everything else is just going to start whenever I get stuff done. I know January has been a pretty dry year, a pretty dry month. Nothing happened in January, and that's mostly because I've been working on scripts and editing stuff. And yeah, so I'm hoping I can try and get something out in February. Stuff might start in March. I'm still working on stuff, and I'm also still planning out stuff for next year. The way last year worked was that I actually made a lot of last year's videos the year before, because the way I structure things is that I like to schedule stuff out ahead of time, because my life is really busy. Sometimes I don't get a whole lot of time to just like make stuff, so I like to plan ahead, and I don't like to have situations where like just nothing happens in a month. So that's why I make stuff ahead of time. This is the first year I'm making stuff. I'm making so much stuff in the year that I'm posting the stuff in, so it's a new experience, but most of that was just because I procrastinated a lot. So I'm reaping what I've sowed. One thing to note about the retrospectives is that they're not going to be, unlike the NASB 2 video, which I'm hoping the NASB 2 videos, like the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 1 and 2 videos, unlike those where I'm hoping those are going to be back-to-back, the retrospectives are not going to be back-to-back. They're going to be intermixed with other videos, just to keep things not being super repetitive, and also because I'm still working on that stuff. Maybe by the time I'm done with all the Scott Pilgrim books, I'm still editing stuff for the movie video and the game video and the anime video. So this just makes it so that, there's a whole bunch of stuff, and it also means that, like, if you're into one thing or into another, there's going to be something that's going to be for everybody, I guess. So I don't have a set schedule for when stuff's going to be coming out. I do have some videos that have already been uploaded and scheduled, but I'm kind of going backwards, so I'm putting out December's video first, and then November, and then September. So whatever one of these videos gets done and gets into like the February-March slot, that's when it's going to start. Outside of that, I'm hoping to have the Scott Pilgrim videos start coming out around April, so that there's at least one Scott Pilgrim video for each month for the rest of the year. And so that's kind of the big plan. Whenever I do these recording sessions, I always end up doing like 1 or 2 big unscripted rambly sort of videos. So maybe there might be a few surprises coming up here or there. But that's sort of the general plan that I want to do. And of course, there's lots of stuff that I'm still opening myself up for, like setting aside, like slots or whatever for, like I'm definitely going to be doing another, comic retrospective on, like, me making comics. I'm going to be talking about the Molly McGee comic again, and like at the end of the year. And then of course I want to do more stuff with Multiverses too and stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of the basics of it. I hope you guys are super excited for the stuff I'm going to be putting out. Before I transition into sort of the end part of the video, I do want to say that I am really thankful for everybody commenting and subscribing. It definitely does mean a lot. I think the most insane thing that I sometimes think about is that my main, quote-unquote main channel, or my first channel I made, has about 200 subscribers, but I've had that channel for basically about like 10 years. It took me 10 years to get 200 subscribers, but it took me about half a year to get half of that subscriber amount. And like people comment and stuff, people offer like their own theories and thoughts and stuff, and it feels nice that I'm making something that makes people happy and makes people think and stuff. And so I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody commenting and stuff. Yeah, and so it's been a real motivator being able to make stuff and be like, wow, people actually really like engaging with the stuff. It means a lot. And I'm excited to grow some more in this year too. Like I mentioned before, I do have other YouTube channels. My main first channel, which was where a lot of the core, like, beginning first videos of this channel came from. That's sort of my montage channel. It's called Pineapplegrenader Art and Games. That's where I post a lot of fighting game montages. I used to do a lot of speed paints too there as well, which is why it's called Art in Games, but it's mostly been montages. So yeah, kind of like with this channel, I try to make a video there every month. Right now we have a lot of montages from Multiverses, and I'm also making some more montages for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. So if you like platform fighters and fighting game montages, you can check that out. I also have a funny little meme channel for making YouTube poops and stuff. And I don't know, I mean, usually when I have a surplus of footage, I usually tend to, like, before I throw it out, I like turn it into a YouTube poop, and like I just like throw it up on that channel. So yeah, those will be there if you want to check that stuff out, if you're into that sort of stuff. Like I mentioned before earlier in this video, I do make a comic. I talked about it last year, at the end of last year. I'll have the links to that up. You can read it. It's very silly. If you are into any of the Molly McGee stuff I talked about in this channel, then you know it's a Molly McGee fan comic, and you can check that out. I have links to that too. And also, you know, I'm on social media and stuff. You know, I have a Twitter, I have a Tumblr. You know, I have the webcomic sites Tapas and Webtoon where you can read the comic. I also have a Ko-fi. If you like any of the stuff I've done, like any of the art I made for my thumbnails, or any of that stuff, and you want to support me and you want to get a commission, or you just want to, you know, tip me or whatever, I have that in the link. And I would also appreciate that. I would appreciate that if, you know, you felt like you wanted to support me monetarily. That's one way you can. And yeah, that's kind of just the gist of it. I'm basically everywhere on social media. If you want to find me, I have a lot of really fun stuff for the rest of this year, and I hope you stick around to check it out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. Bye-bye.